Hi, and welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. I am coming at you with 30 Days of Sketches, day number 18. This sketch was created by my very good friend, Anna, over at Peace Craft Love. I will post her information in the description box below, as well as the collaborative playlist, so that you can see what everybody else is creating with this sketch. So let me set it where I can look at it, and then I'm going to talk about what I'm using. So, still working on these circus photos. You'd think I'd be about ready to run out. Not so much. So I pulled those, and I cut some circles. I intended to just cut these out. So I have 3 sizes of those, but then as I was cutting them out, it left behind these pieces. I don't know whether or not they'll end up on this layout or not, but I just thought they were cool that they left little spiky rings to play with. I have this washi tape by Felicity Jane. I got in their warehouse box. 3 pieces of flare, some enamel dots. I still have the sequins. About to run out of those. Still have these. Not sure that I'm going to use those. 3 photos I need to trim. I am going to put this kind of as the big mat behind, but I'm going to put it on the black paper, and I'm going to put a torn bit of this back there too. And I have to set that paper aside because that paper makes my eyes hurt. So I usually have to work with it pretty quickly. But again, I'm going to use this black cardstock as a background, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be some white splatters going on in here. Maybe some other embellishments, we'll see. But I'm going to speed you up, and we're going to get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some washi on some white cardstock that I had already trimmed down to 3. And the other piece I think is either 3.5 or 4 inches. And I'm doing this because I prefer my washi to not look transparent on my layouts most of the time, especially since I'm using these little strips to replace the banners that Anna put on her sketch. So next, I'm going to tear that pink big top pattern paper down so that I can use it as the center matting on my layout. I have a little bit of trouble, if you can't tell here. I'm trying to tear very carefully, not because I'm particular about the way it tears, but I'm trying to get this tiny strip off the top. And I kind of have a little bit of trouble because I can't grasp it well enough, but I get it. And I do a little bit of fixing later when I add that black and white striped strips. I did not tear the black and white paper after all. I ended up cutting it down instead of tearing it and using them as borders on top and bottom of the pink paper. For now, I'm just going to tack those black and white striped pieces on the top and bottom. I'm not going to glue them down just yet because I want to make sure that I'm not going to completely cover them up with my photos and embellishments. Plus, I'm going to do some tucking of those inward scalloped rings that I die cut as well. I trimmed my photos and matted them in hot pink cardstock off camera so that I could just move along quickly with this sketch. I am also going to lay out my black and white washi strip pieces. I've lost one of them temporarily on my desktop. I kind of look for it for a minute, and then I get sidetracked with remembering that I had cut those die cut circles, and I wanted to get those tucked into the layout and where I wanted them on the page as well. I'm going to use that small one over there in the corner and kind of create a small cluster embellishment there. Embellishment cluster, my goodness. I'm also going to put some little word phrases down onto the washi strips. I think I end up using 2 once I find that 3rd strip. I'm also going to lay out my flare and kind of decide which one I want to go in which place. So I bring in that 3rd washi tape strip that I created, and I lay that today flare on top. Now I'm going to go ahead and decide on my title, and this is where you get to watch me misspell the word strut. Like, serious? I know how to spell. I know how to spell very well, but I was trying to get this down and I left out the R, silly me. I do fix that, so no worries there. So my title is going to be Strut Your Stuff, and you're seeing me put out the word your, and this is where I realize I don't have enough U's to create the word stuff, and I kind of get stuck for a minute. Then I realize that I also put another font in my, or an alphabet set in my circus kit. It's some puffy curly Q orange letters that go with some of the other papers that are in my kit, and I'm going to go ahead and use that to finish off my title. In there you see me fix the word strut, and I'm moving over the word your and kind of playing with it, and I'm going to have to make a decision here. Do I change out the whole title or just a couple of the words? And I'm just going to leave it sitting there. I know it's crooked right now. I'll fix it off camera when I make a decision, and then I'll bring it back and we'll talk about what I fixed. Alright, I've laid everything down off camera. I added 2 phrase stickers. I added a label for some short journaling. The phrase sticker packet actually was from 2015, so it had 2015, so that got plopped down here. And I had to trade out my font because I didn't have enough of these letters to spell stuff because I ran out of U's, so I just used this smaller orange font. And now I'm going to add in a couple little details. I'm hoping for some orange enamel dots, but I don't see orange enamel dots, just these really bright ones. So maybe I should grab some of those really quick. I have I have opened packages of enamel dots on a ring that I keep closer to the place where I sit to scrap. You may or may not know this, but I record in a different place than where I actually scrapbook. So I have this, and this is another Janet Madison idea from over at RTS Scrapbooking. I think this is a fabulous idea, and it really does help me use up enamel dots. For a while I was keeping enamel dots in a little glass dessert cup, and they would fall off and get lost, but this actually keeps them in the packaging and I can use them up. So I'm going to add some orange ones because I put orange here and here. So I'm going to add some orange enamel dots in various places if I can get them to lay down. I do want to thank you again for stopping by my channel. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please click that thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I will answer your questions or comments about my layouts, and make sure that you check that collaborative playlist, as I mentioned earlier, that is below my video in the description box. There's a lot of wonderful creators. Several of them are my friends, and I would really like it if you check out their videos as well, because I'm sure they're doing amazing stuff. In fact, I know they are. I've watched several of their videos. You have a great rest of your day. Bye.